If you are an Aries, Cancer, Capricorn, or Libra, this is how the solar eclipse in Aries is going to affect you. So this eclipse is super positive, super abundant. There's a lot of energy, but at the same time, there's a lot going on, especially for my Aries and my Aries placements. This is occurring in your first house, which is the house of the self. So it has everything to do with you and questioning what you're going through and how you are feeling. Genuinely ask yourself if you are happy with your current situation, if you're happy with your job, your relationship, how you're doing mentally, and if you're not, what do you need to do to change that? This is a really transformative energy as well. It has a lot to do with new beginnings. So this is going to be the time for you to transition yourself. My Cancer and Cancer risings, this is happening in your 10th house. This has to do with career and opportunities in your career life. Maybe starting a new job, maybe getting a new job, realizing that you're not happy in the job that you're currently in. A lot of you might be getting promotions or overall just finding out what you want to do for either the rest of your life or for a long-term portion of your life, career-wise. And for those of you who are in school or looking into careers kind of in your future, you can be figuring out what you want to do in that type of aspect moving forward as well. Libra, this is occurring in your 7th house of relationships. So reevaluating the relationships that you're currently in, or just questioning what you want to do with your relationship status. You're not going to want to ignore those hard-hitting questions for those of you who are in relationships and wondering if you want to stay or if you want to leave. You are going to want to address these, because if not, they will address themselves. It's really best right now to be vulnerable with yourself, be real with yourself, and if there's any red flags or you have any gut feelings, to not take those with a grain of salt. For Capricorns, this is occurring in your 4th house, which has to do with home and family. Maybe you're going and visiting family members. Maybe you're moving homes, buying a new home, traveling, moving to a different country. This aspect squares Pluto, so this is a pretty uncomfortable energy for you, kind of forcing you to be put in situations, whether it has to do with family or your home, maybe even both. For example, having to go back home and being with family, or kind of being forced to move, not wanting to do it within your will, but at the same time, it's going to benefit you. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If you are a Sagittarius, Virgo, Gemini, or Pisces, this is how the solar eclipse in Aries is going to affect you. Sagittarius, this is happening in your 5th house. I genuinely love this for you guys. It is in one of your sister signs, Aries, so you're going to be feeling this passion, this power, this confidence to kind of go after what you love, things that make you feel good. I see a lot of you guys being in this moment where you're like coming out of a cave type of situation and kind of coming into your own. So if there are any projects you've been wanting to start, anything that you're really passionate about, I think right now is a great time to go after that. I ended up getting a really bad headache yesterday, so I'm finishing this the following day. Virgo, this is occurring in your 8th house, which is a little bit challenging for you. This has to do with things like intimacy, challenges. It can also lead to death, and by death, I'm not necessarily meaning a person, but in a way of like a relationship or connection. How I'm seeing this play out for a lot of you guys is if you're currently dealing with something like a heartbreak or a problem, it's kind of gonna force you to evaluate that and go after it head on. You're not going to be able to like procrastinate or run away from these problems. The universe is kind of going to be like, you need to deal with this. It's going to be in a way like transformative, as long as you do what's best for you and do what feels right, and you don't do things inauthentically or just because you think that's what other people want you to do. As long as you guys address these things and these endings, it's going to benefit you in the long run. Gemini, this is occurring in your 11th house, which has to do with connections, communities, friends. Maybe you're getting into a new community, meeting new friends. I feel like Geminis have been socializing a lot lately, which is good. And some of you don't like to socialize as much. Some of you guys do, but it's all in good favor because these connections that you're making, or the connections that you currently have that you're kind of focusing on and nurturing, is gonna really benefit you in the near future. And last but not least, my Pisces, this is occurring in your second house. Basically, you guys, your money, finances, possessions, you need to get them in order. You have the opportunity to make money or figure out new ways that you want to make money in a career aspect. But as Pisces, we don't like to take responsibility. We like to imagine that money falls from the sky, and it doesn't. So I'm running out of time, but basically getting together your finances, reevaluating, and seeing what you need to do, what you're spending on, etc. If you are a Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, or Aquarius, this is how the solar eclipse in Aries is going to affect you. You guys are my group where I feel like a lot of you guys are exhausted. So let's get into this energy that's going on. For my Scorpios, this is occurring in your 6th house of daily routines, how you live your everyday life, things like that. You're really going to evaluate if you're happy doing what you're currently doing, if there's something that you want to do, if there's something in your routine that you want to change. This is going to be the perfect time to do that. Taurus, this is occurring in your 12th house. This has a lot to do with the unconscious. So if you're having weird dreams during this time, or if you're having unanswered questions and those answers are coming up in your dreams, listen to them. I feel like a lot of you guys are feeling stuck, like you have no other options, like suffocated in a way and looking for answers. And you can get advice from others, but just know that those answers are within you and you're going to get them very soon. Leo, this is occurring in your 9th house, and because you are ruled by the sun, you feel solar eclipses very strongly. So this has to do with travel, philosophy, your spirituality. This is the time where you really sit down with yourself and you're like, I want to go somewhere. I want to become a different person. I want to pursue this. I want to become more spiritual. If you've been putting it on the back burner, the perfect time is to start now or plan that trip out now. Aquarius, you are also feeling this quite, not harshly, but pretty like overwhelmingly, because this is squaring Pluto and there's so much going on. So it's emotional, it's explosive, and it's occurring in the 3rd house, which has to do with communication, how you're speaking to people. Maybe working on your communication skills would be perfect for you guys right now, because I feel like a lot of you guys are kind of retreating with all this energy. You're feeling really overwhelmed, and to be honest, you don't want to talk to anyone. And of course, it's perfectly fine to take that time away from being around people, but don't be too much of a hermit is what I want to say. As always, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you want to know more, follow my YouTube channel, and I'm also making a Patreon for anyone who's interested in learning more about astrology. And yeah, I guess I will see you in the next video.